Update. Am I the a-hole for telling my sister's boyfriend it's not his business if I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom? Original post. So, I, female 22, have an older sister, female 28, who has 4 kids. She loves being a mom and wants to be a stay-at-home mom, and I encourage her to do whatever she wants. She understands that I have no desire to be a mom right now, if ever. I have 2 other older sisters who, like me, don't want to be stay-at-home mothers. This is important to the story. Her boyfriend, male 27, is mad at me because he asked when I was going to settle down and offered to introduce me to his friend, male 25, who wants a stay-at-home wife. I told him no, that I don't want to date anyone this year, and he got mad for some reason and asked why. I told him my ex-boyfriend left me with trust issues. My ex cheated on me 6 months into a 3-year relationship. He told me we broke up in 2023 and that I should start getting back out there. I told him it wasn't his business, and he dropped it. But 2 days ago, he asked me if I wanted to be a stay-at-home wife and mother. I told him no, that I don't, and that I'm not even sure if I want kids, let alone to be married. He got defensive since his mom was a stay-at-home wife and mother. I told him I don't see anything wrong with being a stay-at-home mom, but I personally don't want to depend on a man for anything. He once again got defensive and said, "Not all men are the same." I told him he was correct, but again, not all women want the same thing. He said my sister wants to be a stay-at-home wife and mom, and I told him congratulations on finding that with my sister, but that I, once again, don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. He got mad because he overheard my conversation about getting an IUD and told me I was ruining God's plan to make me a mom one day. I told him whether I want kids or not is not his business. He got mad at me and told me to get out of his home, so I did. My older sister is asking me to apologize to him and not to get an IUD since if I get pregnant, it's God's plan. She also told me I should reconsider being a stay-at-home mom/wife. I told her not everyone has that dream, and she accused me of not respecting stay-at-home mothers/wives, which is completely untrue. My 2 other older sisters are on my side and said my sister's boyfriend shouldn't be so concerned with how I live my life. They said that if I don't want to depend on anyone for the rest of my life, that's my choice. He also said I'm going to hell for being bisexual, so I screamed, "I guess your girlfriend, my sister, is also going to hell because she's bisexual herself," which he already knows about. Now their friends are calling me an a-hole, saying he only cares about what I do with my body because it's God's body, and I should respect it and become a mom soon. So, am I the a-hole for telling my sister's boyfriend it's not his business if I don't want to be a stay-at-home wife/mom? Edit to clarify, I get asked this question a lot, about why I was discussing getting an IUD to my sister's boyfriend. I wasn't discussing it to him. Me and my 3 sisters were all discussing it at his house, but he wasn't there. He walked in though when I said I was thinking of getting an IUD, and that's when he butted into the conversation. And as soon as he said God's body, not my body, me and my 2 other sisters started talking to him about it. And he raised his voice, so I raised mine, and we eventually left since I don't like conflict at all. Now for the top comments before reading the updates. This guy sounds like a creep. Who is he to dictate what you do with your life, your career, and your body? I hope your sister knows about this and supports you, not the a-hole. My sister, who is with him, wholeheartedly supports him and thinks I should be a stay-at-home mom. She wants me to apologize to keep the damn peace, but I told her I'm done keeping the peace. He also supports the abortion ban, which is his opinion. He wants a national abortion ban, even for rape and incest, which makes me nervous to be in a room with him. She also supports this. Not the a-hole. His views on stay-at-home moms and traditional gender roles are his own, and he shouldn't be imposing them on you. So many red flags here. Not the a-hole. To add a bit of fun and flair to your arguments, since they keep bringing up God in all of this, feel free to point out that boyfriend is not husband and, in God's eyes, they are living in sin, and all those lovely children are illegitimate bastards. That should bring about a whole bucket of fun right there. Also, be sure to point out your sister's boyfriend's obsession with your body and what you're doing with it. Does he perchance want that body for himself? And since he can't have it, he's using his girlfriend as a surrogate? There are some serious issues here, but none of them are your problem. As a side note, being petty with biblical technicalities can be a total hoot. You obviously love your sister if you're putting up with this guy's BS, but I'd be going low or no contact after that nonsense. 3 out of her 4 kids aren't even his. She is pregnant, about to give birth at the end of this month. Now for the first update. I already knew I was going to go no contact with my sister's boyfriend, as I don't feel safe around him. But I went ahead and called my sister to tell her and explain why I chose no contact with him. She is now super mad at me, saying I overreacted and all that fun stuff. So I asked her if they were going to apologize, and she said they don't owe me an apology. I owe him an apology. He overheard us on the phone and once again got into the conversation. I told him I had nothing to say to him. He said he wanted answers to 2 of his questions. 1. Why I don't want to be a stay-at-home mom. I told him it's none of his business and to stay in his lane. 2. Why I don't want to date/marry his friend. I told him that he isn't my type and never will be, and to not talk to me again. He told me that if I didn't stop overreacting, I wouldn't have anything to do with my nephews and niece. And not gonna lie, that got to me. I told him that for my mental health, I was done talking to him. My sister said, "Okay, you made your choice, and we will make ours." So now I'm no contact with both of them. Also, I've found out my dad learned about everything yesterday. This morning, after I was on the phone with them, he went over and yelled at Josh, telling him to back off, and that his daughter wasn't for sale or anything like that. Apparently, they got into a fist fight, and according to what I've heard, my dad won, though I'm not totally sure about that. My dad later called me, apologized, and asked me personally why I don't want to be a stay-at-home mother. So I told him the reason, which had to do with him and my stepmom, and he apologized again, saying he never meant to do that to her. For context, he was very abusive to her. At one point I saw him choke her, screamed, and he let her go, but he never apologized for it. So I decided to cut off my sister and her boyfriend, which sucks because I won't be able to see my niece and nephews anymore. But my mental and physical health is more important to me, to be honest. Edit. There is one more thing that was said that I forgot to mention. In my last post, a lot of people suggested that I ask him when he's going to marry my sister, since they are not living according to God's plan. So I asked him. His response was, "It's not your business to know." To which I said, "Then it's not your business to know anything about what I do with my body, who I date, and all that." He got angry with me and proceeded to cuss me out. I honestly just laughed. Not the a-hole. I hope you eventually date someone who would never harm you in any way. Your dad and brother-in-law come from the same tribe. I hope so too. I was in an abusive relationship from 17 to 21, and my family and friends told me not to date him, and I did anyways. Finally, I decided to end it when he put me in the hospital for almost a week. Your sister is with a man that is able to get into a fist fight with her father? Yes, apparently. Not gonna lie though, my dad wasn't always a great father. He was abusive to all of us, especially my older brother, who is 30 years old. But he's changed and got help for his anger and all that. He's always been an amazing grandpa, but I'm sure after what happened with my sister's boyfriend, they will cut him off too. We all never liked her boyfriend, my dad especially. Got help for his anger. Good thing he didn't totally lose his anger because her boyfriend totally deserved what he got. Maybe he'll think twice before mouthing off. Unfortunately, he's probably going to take it out on your sister. You are not the a-hole for wanting to distance yourself from chaos. Thank you. Not gonna lie, I thought I would be, since I won't be able to see my niece and nephews. But when they are old enough, and if they want to see me, I'll gladly take it. Your sister's man has a thing for you. He's obsessing over your unwillingness to be the way he wants you to be because he was hoping to trade your sister in for the younger child-free version of her. Dude is deluded, and I would set up security cameras in your home. Sorry about your niece and nephews, not the a-hole. Now for the last update. Sorry I didn't give an update sooner. I had a lot going on. My 2 other older sisters sat down with our sister, and the 3 of them talked about why I wanted nothing to do with her and her boyfriend anymore. She admitted she might have lost herself when she got with her boyfriend and that she wants to apologize to me, but she also wants me to apologize to him as well. My sisters told her I don't owe him an apology or an explanation. She got mad and said she wants nothing to do with me if I can't be the bigger person like she is and apologize. I told her that's fine. My two other sisters suggested family therapy, and I told them no. I haven't seen my sister or her boyfriend in a month, and I'm currently living full-time with my aunt, helping her with her medical issues. I don't have the time or energy to go to family therapy, even if I wanted to. I did end up in the hospital recently because of a car accident. My best friend was driving at night and almost hit a deer. Luckily, we crashed into a tree instead, and I only ended up with a broken leg. I can't walk until it heals. My two other sisters found out and lectured us though. None of us were drunk. We had just gone to IHOP for some breakfast for dinner, and on the way back, we got into the accident. But other than that, nothing really happened with my sister and her boyfriend. I finally cut off contact a month ago for good. It sucks because of my niece and nephews, but I need to protect myself from people like them. I decided to make them all Gmail accounts and email them every day since cutting off contact. And when they turn 18, I plan to give them their emails so they can read everything. I love them, but I need to love myself more. It honestly sounds selfish, but I've been going to therapy, and my therapist is helping me cope with losing them. I fully accepted that I never want to be a mother. It's hard, but I don't think the mother life is for me. My two other sisters are upset because they really wanted me to have kids, but they also respect my choice not to. Like I said, nothing much has happened since I cut off contact with my sister and her boyfriend. I did delete my Facebook, Instagram, and Messenger accounts because they weren't good for my mental health, and my sister could easily contact me that way. Honestly, I'm just living life and taking things one day at a time lately. But that's it. I wish you all good luck in life, and thank you for all the advice. I really appreciate it. Edit. My sister gave birth to another boy. She wanted me at the hospital, but I said no. It was a hard decision, but I think I made the right choice for my mental health. My mental health isn't in a great place, but it's better than it was 2 months ago. Also, I'm thinking about saving money and moving to a small town in a different state to start over completely. Last story. Am I the a-hole for telling my fiancé that her sister can't stay with us going forward? For context, my fiancé's mother and sister, 30, are devout Hindus, while I'm Christian. Their family is dysfunctional. The parents are separated but live in the same house. The sister resents their father, constantly fights with him, and refuses to move out despite owning a house he bought for her. She stays home to avoid spending money, saving 95% of her income while their mother enables her. The real trouble started when my fiancé, her mother, and her sister visited the temple twice. The first time, a temple person told them I would end up with another woman. They believed it blindly. The second time, this same person claimed I was gay. Afterward, they called my mother, saying they wanted to sell everything and get their money back. Following this, I asked my fiancé to limit their visits to our place. They were coming over 3 to 4 times a week, which was excessive. I value my privacy and want time alone with my fiancé. Then came my birthday party. My fiancé's mother invited their father hoping to mend things. During dinner, he made a joke, and the sister lost it. She stormed out, went home, and destroyed his garden. He threatened to call the cops, and I don't blame him. She has serious anger issues. The next week, their mother left for an overseas trip, leaving the sister home alone. She initially asked if she could work from our place, which I suspected was an excuse to stay over. Sure enough, when the time came, she guilt-tripped my fiancé into letting her stay for a full week. At that point, I put my foot down. I told my fiancé that her sister couldn't stay. After what she pulled with the temple visits and her general behavior, I didn't want her in my home. I also like my space. I walk around in my boxers, unwind, and don't want to feel uncomfortable in my own house. My parents also agreed that she shouldn't stay with us when she has her own home. A few weeks later, my fiancé finally told her sister she couldn't stay over anymore. She completely lost it, texting my mom to keep her big nose out of our business and telling me to keep the hell away from my dog. They have a Jack Russell I love. Now she's acting like a child and refuses to attend our wedding, despite being the maid of honor. She keeps messaging my fiancé, though I don't know what she's saying. My fiancé now wants me to apologize, but I don't feel I did anything wrong. Am I the a-hole? What should I do? Not the a-hole, but you should know that these problems will likely never go away and will potentially escalate as you get more intertwined with these people. When you marry someone, you marry their family. I truly wish you well, but this seems like a complicated equation. These problems will get worse, especially when adding kids to the equation. Yep, it is going to be a wild ride when you have kids, OP. Your fiancé needs to shine her spine and start laying boundaries with her family. The excessive visiting and basic disrespect you've been shown through many of these different actions, something needs to change. Their actions are way over the top. If they are visiting this much and staying over this much now, it will be worse when you guys have a little one and are trying to bond as a family. Once you commit your life and your heart to another person, that person becomes your immediate family. Your nuclear family will be your wife and any children you may have. Even parents and siblings become extended family once you have created your own nuclear family. I'd take your fiancé and potentially get some counseling to help you both make the marriage work. Honestly, if my husband had gone to a temple of any religion, we are Christian, I'm Methodist, and he's Catholic, and came home convinced we weren't going to make it because some crazy lady at the temple told him I would end up with another man, I'd have very big apprehensions about marrying that person. You're totally not the a-hole. I wish you the best. Not the a-hole, but please stop ignoring all the red flags this woman is waving in front of you. She is very attached to her family, believes everything that comes out of their mouths, and always defends them even when they're wrong. This will not change or get better as time goes on. If you do not want to deal with this for the rest of your life, I suggest that you rethink this relationship.